And we welcome you to the SAISD Sports Complex for this big Thursday night ball game between two and two teams vying for a playoff spot in 14-5A D2. It's McCollum Cowboys that have taken the short trip here. They were on I-35, got off on Theo, probably about a 5-minute drive from 500 Formosa. The Burbank Bulldogs were waiting for them right here in their own backyard at the SAISD Sports Complex. It's going to be a good one tonight. It's a beautiful night for football. We are in the middle of the season. 5 games have played, 5 more to go, and then playoffs after that. And we are really excited to bring this game to you. This is Robert Villafranca on RC Audio Sports. I'll bring you the play-by-play. Color commentating today is our guest color commentator, Manny Campos. We're glad to have him. We're going to talk about him in just a minute. Isabella is at the controls, and we've got our expert cameramen, Isaiah Castro and Cesar Mendez. So the teams right now they're singing their alma maters. They're getting ready to break the. They're getting ready to come through the run-throughs, and then we know right after that is the national anthem. Stay with us. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching High School Sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel, brought to you by Texas Revolution Youth Football and Cheer.
Doing hair is an art, and I take great pride in it. I love my job. I opened my original hair salon on this side of town 26 years ago, and I still have some of the same clients. My location at Brooks is a dream come true. This is the right time and the right place to start a business at Brooks. The South Side is growing so much.
What makes Brooks so attractive to business owners is the environment. Employees can live, work, learn, and play all in one area. The South San Antonio Chamber of Commerce is a cheerleader for businesses in and around Brooks, and we have a lot to be excited about. We're beginning to erase the economic gap between North and South San Antonio while still retaining our unique culture. Brooks is bringing economic prosperity to our side of town, and it's happening so quickly that the data is still catching up. Entrepreneurship is booming on the South Side. There's no limit to what can happen here.
Playing with rockets is great when you're a kid. But when it's time to get a mortgage, you quickly realize that a rocket is complicated and expensive. It's best to work with an independent mortgage broker instead. They're dedicated to getting you a home loan faster and more affordably. And they're more than just mortgage experts. They live right in your own neighborhood, so you don't have to go it alone. For mortgages that are faster, easier, and more affordable, find a local independent mortgage broker near you.
And once again, we welcome you to the SAISD Sports Complex for this big 14-5A D2 football game between the visiting McCollum Cowboys and your home team, Burbank Bulldogs. It is homecoming for the Burbank Bulldogs tonight, and a big reunion for them as well, as the class of 1972 is here to cheer on their football team. A proud alumni for the Burbank Bulldogs, as well as a proud alumni for the McCollum Cowboys. We just enjoyed McCollum's homecoming last week at Memorial Stadium. This is Robert Villafranca. I'm going to bring you color commentating, and we are about to listen to the national anthem. We're going to stay here with them and honor our great nation and the flag as Burbank plays the national anthem.
And Texas Guard Cadet Corporal Sahara Perez from the Burbank Female Color Guard. At this time now, ladies and gentlemen, again, we ask you to please rise, remove your caps as we honor America. And the Burbank Bulldog Band will now play our national anthem. We ask that you please remain standing until the colors have left the field.
A beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner played by the Burbank Bulldog Band. Again, this is Robert Villafranca alongside Manny Campos, who will be bringing us color tonight. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the McCollum Cowboys in a little bit. Manny's going to tell us about the Burbank Bulldogs.
Burbank Bulldogs for this season, they're 3-2 overall, 2-2 in district play. Their victories have come over Sam Houston and Brackenbridge. They both have common opponents with the McCollum in the loss column, which is with Highlands and Alamo Heights. So this is a big ball game for them. They're both tied with Sam Houston for fourth place in District 14-5A Division II.
There you go, Manny. And for the McCollum Cowboys, a very similar path to this game. The Cowboys are 2-3 overall, but they're 2-2 in district play, so they're tied with the Burbank Bulldogs for fourth place, along with Sam Houston. So it's a three-way tie. A little bit of a logjam at 2-2 in fourth place, and the Cowboys and the Bulldogs will do their best to break that tie up here tonight. Again, as Manny said, both these teams have lost to Alamo Heights and Highlands. Alamo Heights and Highlands have shown themselves in the first 4 games of district play to be at the top, and so both of them, those are common opponents they have. Both of them have fallen to them. So McCollum and Burbank at in the fourth place, fighting for, at midseason, fighting for the last playoff invite. Of course, there's 5 games left and a lot of football to play, but the game here tonight, the outcome tonight is going to be big. Before the national anthem, we had the coin toss, and McCollum elected to receive, and Burbank will kick off and defend the south goal. For the McCollum Cowboys, deep to receive the kick. Number 32 is Jason Moreda, and number 3 is Luke Landa. Luke Landa has been a firecracker for the McCollum Cowboys this year. We saw him return a kickoff for a touchdown in game 1 of the season against South San, and he's got several highlights in his highlight reel already. So we'll see if the Bulldogs have done any scouting, and if they have, if they're going to let Luke handle the kickoff tonight, or if they're going to kick away. Teeing the football up for the Burbank Bulldogs is Arturo Martinez. He's a senior, and the roster lists kicking duties only for him. So we'll get a good look at his foot right away. The short kick is taken at the 25. Moreda fakes a reverse to Landa and keeps it, and he's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line. Let's take a look at the McCollum offense.
On the return, number 3.
Nice tackle there by Joel Perez with the Bulldogs.
The McCollum offense is quarterbacked by Justin Rodriguez. He's a sophomore. The fullback is Julian Roque. The halfback is Jonathan Longoria. Flanker Stephen Medina. The offensive line. The offensive line for the Cowboys is made up of Michael Harrell, Carlos Mata, Derek Ibarra, Zach Herrera, and Gage Carter. Looks like we're going to have a re-kick, and while we have an opportunity, it's going to be the Burbank defense that's going to take the field first of all. So let's give you the defensive lineup.
Legal procedure against the hitting team after the penalty will be first and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Illegal procedure against Burbank. A 5-yard penalty will be assessed at the end of the kickoff return. So the Cowboys will start here at their own 32-yard line. First and 10 for the Cowboys. The snap goes to Justin Rodriguez, and big Julian Roque will get the handoff. A 3-yard gain for Julian, and the Cowboys will snap next from their own 35-yard line.
Short game.
Julian was stacked up by many different Bulldogs there for a short gain of 3 yards.
The 2nd and 7 from the 35-yard
Julian
line.
Roque, our player of the game last week against Lanier. He's a bulldozer. He's hard to bring down. Low center of gravity for Julian, and if you got to tackle him all night, you're going to feel it tomorrow morning. Burbank has done a great job on defense. We'll see how they do against the Cowboys here tonight. So the Cowboys come up, lined up 2 split to the left and 1 split to the right. Looks like they've got a tight end in the ballgame as well. And Jonathan Longoria on a jet sweep will take the handoff, and he's going to get some positive yardage for the Cowboys all the way up to the 39-yard line. That's going to set up a very doable 3rd and 3.
Looks like number 50 for the Burbank Bulldogs with the tackle, Joe Klein.
Joe Klein listed as an offensive and a defensive lineman. He's a junior for the Burbank Bulldogs. You're going to hear Manny call his name quite a bit. He's very active on the Burbank Bulldog defense. So a 3rd and very manageable 3 yards for the Cowboys. It has been a challenge for them to stay on schedule offensively. And Roque up the middle, untouched. He's at midfield before he's brought down. The ball's on the ground. The officials waving timeout and motioning that the Bulldogs have recovered the fumble. So a nice gain for Julian Roque, gets into Burbank territory before the ball is freed from him, and the Bulldogs recover the fumble.
Nice job by safety Carlos Aguirre to come up and make that hit and cause that fumble.
A lot of up tempo for the Bulldogs. I'll give you their offense as soon as I get an opportunity here. Kevin Hernandez is the starting quarterback for the Burbank Bulldogs. He's a sophomore. He was a starter as a freshman, but he was playing wide receiver. He moved into the quarterback spot, and Coach Harris tells us that he's doing a great job leading the team. And it's a fake jet sweep, and he keeps it around the left end. He's out to the 25. He's got one man to beat, and he doesn't beat him. So the Cowboys bring him down. It was number 32 for McCollum. Jason Moreda, who made the touchdown-saving tackle. Kevin Hernandez all the way inside the 15-yard line. The Burbank Bulldogs in the red zone just like that.
Nice run and nice read by the quarterback there.
That was a 37-yard run for Adam Hernandez.
This time Kevin will pitch it. Number 9 takes a pitch, Matthew Cortez, and he's tackled at the 10-yard line, so about a 4-yard gain.
Safety Marco Sanchez with the tackle, driving him out of bounds.
Number 9, Matthew Cortez, a running back. He's a senior. He's averaging 100 yards a ball game. So these Bulldogs will put the ball on the ground and challenge you to stop the running game before they throw it. Kevin Hernandez, the quarterback leading the offense. He's a little bit of an odd formation here. 60 leading the way for Matthew Cortez. He's going to come back on a cutback. He's met on the line of scrimmage, and no gain on that play. That time we had Ryan Vasquez listed as an offensive lineman in the backfield.
Defensive tackle John Selias, a host of Cowboys, made that tackle for a short gain.
So a 3rd and 6 for the Burbank Bulldogs at the McCollum Cowboy 10-yard line. 4-yard gain on first down, and then no gain on second. So looking at 3rd and medium here, but they're in the red zone. Very likely to be 4-down territory. Kevin is in the pocket. He looks downfield. He's got a receiver in the corner. It's a touchdown. Rene Espinosa at the end of the Kevin Hernandez missile, and just inside the end zone, but that's all. You just need to cross the line. You don't have to get very deep in it. It's good for a touchdown. The Bulldogs take the lead here with 8 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the first quarter. It's 6-0. And number 80, Arturo Martinez, is in the ballgame once again, this time to kick the PAT. The ball is down, and it goes up through the uprights. The extra point is good. We've got 7-0, a Burbank lead over McCollum. We're in the first quarter, 8 minutes and 11 seconds left to play. You are watching High School Sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel. We'll be back. Finding the right home is hard. Now finding the right realtor, that's the easy part. Vanessa G. Medina with Proper Realty will work hard to help you find the right home for you and your family. Contact Vanessa today and let Proper Realty help you find your dream home. And we're back at the SAISD Sports Complex. The Burbank Bulldogs have just scored. It was a 4-play drive after recovering a McCollum fumble at the Burbank 49-yard line. It was a 51-yard drive, 4 plays, and the score was a pass from Kevin Hernandez to Rene Espinosa. And Arturo Martinez added the extra point. The Burbank Bulldogs getting creative with their kicking game and a little bit of a lob. It just has to travel 10 yards. The officials, looks like there may be a little disagreement. One official pointing north and one official pointing south. We'll see if it's going to be rock, paper, scissors, or how they're going to decide which of those calls is going to stand. The Burbank Bulldogs left the field thinking that they had recovered the kickoff, and the officials are adamant that the Cowboys have recovered it after all. So a little disappointing for the Bulldogs, who came away from there thinking they had successfully kicked an onside kick. It didn't happen this time, so the Cowboys will take possession at their own 48-yard line.
That was almost a big turnover for the Burbank Bulldogs.
Boy, the momentum really going their way, a 4-play drive and a score. And then recovering a kickoff would have been big for the Bulldogs. The Cowboys dodged that bullet and take possession in great field position, actually, after recovering that kickoff. They're at their own 48-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. Justin Rodriguez will take the snap, and the ball's on the ground again. Had a little trouble getting the ball to Julian Roque. It was had some trouble with the snap, Justin did, but it looked like he got control of it just in time, and Julian Roque was almost by him before he put the ball in his belly. The ball was on the ground. Burbank almost recovered another fumble.
Gerardo Ortega came close to recovering that fumble, the McCollum fumble there.
So the first play for a loss for the McCollum Cowboys will bring up 2nd and 13. Coach Klon has talked to us all year long about how important, how much he's stressing that the Cowboys stay on schedule. This time the handoff goes to Julian Roque again. He's looking for some yardage in the A gap between the center and the right guard, and not finding a whole lot. Found a little bit. Moved the line of scrimmage forward a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 11 from the Cowboys' own 47-yard line.
34 Vincent Reyes, and nose tackle for the Bulldogs, able to hold on to him to get some more help to bring him down. He's a big load to bring down there.
Coach Campos was a member of the Harlandale coaching staff in the 90s, and part of that coaching defensive ends, and a nice 3-year playoff run that we had over there. So, man, he knows a little bit about defense. Glad to have him with us. Again, Justin has trouble with the snap. He rolls left. He's left-handed, and it was almost intercepted. Rene Gonzalez got himself in the passing lane. I think he had both hands on it, but just out of reach. So the Cowboys try to go to the air, trying to move the chains on 3rd and long. It's going to be 4th and 1, and the ball. We'll expect the ball to go over with a punt, and for the Cowboys, that's a whole lot more favorable than turning it over by fumble.
Nice job by Rene Gonzalez, at corner, to drop into that zone and break up that pass and almost come up with an interception.
I thought he was in a little bit of no man's land, but he made a nice recovery. We got a good snap, not much of a rush, a spiral punt, and a Cowboy bounce, but the Bulldogs will pick it up. Johnny Alvarado taking a little bit of a risk there after the ball had bounced. He was surrounded by Cowboys, but no risk, no reward, they say. And Johnny Alvarado taking his chance with a little risk there. 1st and 10 for the Burbank Bulldogs. The the line of scrimmage is their own 26-yard line.
Nice defensive series last there by Burbank there.
3 and out. I'd like to see that from the defensive standpoint. It's going to be a screen pass. The Cowboys bat it down. It looked like it was going to be well played either way, even if that pass had been, completed. And for the McCollum Cowboys, it was a right tackle senior, Jaden Orozco, getting his hands on the ball and making sure that that screen pass was not completed. 2nd and 10. The Bulldogs look to their sideline for the call. It's a no-huddle, not necessarily up-tempo. It's a no-huddle offense. They'll line up, and then they'll look over to the sideline and get the play call. Kevin Hernandez rolls to his left, and he looks downfield. He's changes his mind as the Cowboys turn him. There's nobody to contain him, and he's up the field. He's past the first down marker and along the sideline and driven out of bounds by the Cowboys, but not before he gains 15 yards and a first down. Move the chains for the Burbank Bulldogs. Next line of scrimmage will be their own 44-yard line.
Nice scramble there. You know, he had some pressure and able to escape up to the right side there. We had to have the nickel back come up and make the tackle. Cano.
Oscar Guevara was here to drive Kevin Hernandez back, but there was nobody containing on the left side of the defense. A big 15-yard gain for Burbank. The handoff goes to Matthew Cortez, and he's met just beyond the line of scrimmage. I believe that was big Ian Escobedo.
Number 22, yes.
Big hit by Ian Escobedo, but a 3-yard gain for the Bulldogs, and will bring up a 2nd and 7. So again, the Burbank Bulldogs, a no-huddle offense, not necessarily an up-tempo. They'll line up. Someone on the field will call the formation, and they'll line up, and then they'll look over to the sideline and get the call. So 2 receivers are split to the right, and 2 receivers split to the left. 1 back in the backfield. It's Matthew Cortez, play action. Kevin Hernandez looks downfield, and he's Rene Espinosa, again, has to be one of his favorite receivers. He just threw a touchdown pass to him, and a big gain for the Bulldogs. Rene Espinosa at the end of a nice tight spiral pass from Kevin Hernandez.
Luke Landa with the tackle there after that nice seam pass by the Bulldogs.
Allowing the post route and nobody in the passing lane, so the Bulldogs were able to complete that pass. Matthew Cortez is back with Kevin Hernandez, and Kevin Hernandez in the pocket. He's rushed, and he's going to be flushed out of the pocket. He's going to his right, still looking downfield, evades a tackler, and runs out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. I don't think he reached the first down marker there, but a nice gain by Kevin Hernandez. 2nd time that he's avoided pressure and run to his right, so the Cowboys will have to look to close that escape lane for Kevin Hernandez.
Yes, he's used that route twice now, and he's facing a lot of pressure, and he was able to escape out to his right side of the field.
Getting nice pressure from the defensive right, again, contained on the left, has been a problem on a couple of these big plays. Kevin Hernandez will hand the ball off to Matthew Cortez, and he's right up the middle. Boy, just about untouched until he got to the 2nd level. He's inside the 10-yard line, tackled at about the 7, and that will be another big first down for the Burbank Bulldogs. They're back in the red zone and threatening to score again. The Burbank Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead over the McCollum Cowboys, scored on their first possession after getting a McCollum fumble just at about midfield.
Safety Luke Landa had to come up and save that touchdown there with the tackle.
Luke Landa is quite the athlete, but you really don't want to be, as a defensive coordinator, you don't want your safety making those tackles, because it means those plays are going for distance. Kevin Hernandez rolls to the right, looks like it's a run all the way. He's grabbed by the shoulder pads, and he's swung around. He's still in bounds, but boy, is he close to the goal line. If we were doing this on Sunday night, I think we'd be showing the pylon camera.
Seth Hernandez was the gentleman that pushed him out of bounds.
Seth Hernandez tackling Kevin Hernandez. A 2nd and goal for the Bulldogs. Looks like the down marker is at the 2-yard line. In the red zone for the 2nd time. The Bulldogs have had 2 possessions and gotten into the red zone twice. Scored the first time. So they've got a 7-0 lead. Matthew Cortez in the backfield with Kevin Hernandez. We've got trips to the left and 1 wide receiver out to the right. Kevin looks to pass, but the whistles will blow. And we've got a timeout. Coach Harris has called a timeout for the Bulldogs. Didn't like what he saw. You're watching High School Sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. And we're back at the SAISD Sports Complex. The Burbank Bulldogs with a 2nd and goal, threatening to score for the second time here in the first quarter. They've got a 7-0 lead over the McCollum Cowboys. 2nd and goal at the Cowboy 2. Kevin Hernandez in the backfield with Matthew Cortez, and he's going to roll to his left, looking to throw the ball again. Wide open. Peter Peralta had gone in motion and then reversed his motion. Uncovered in the end zone, touchdown pass for the Burbank Bulldogs. A 13-0 lead for Burbank over McCollum. It's early. We're still in the first quarter here. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to play. Arturo Martinez will enter the ball game once again. We're playing in Burbank's backyard here. It's homecoming for the Bulldogs. Martinez gets the ball off the tee. It looks like it's good from here, and the officials agree with me. So 14-0 for the Bulldogs. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And you are watching High School Sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel. It's brought to you by Texas Revolution Youth Football and Cheer.
When you're hit by a motor vehicle, there's nobody that tells you that there's most likely going to be $1 billion insurance company protecting the driver that just hit you. It's a mistake to play in traffic. Just like it's a mistake to go against an auto insurance company all alone. When you get into a car crash, don't fight the $1 billion auto insurance companies alone. If you've been injured in a car crash, call Martinez & Associates today at 210-337-1111.
And we welcome you back to the SAISD Sports Complex in Burbank High School's backyard. The Bulldogs have just scored for the second time tonight. It was a 74-yard, 9-play drive culminated by a Kevin Hernandez to Peter Peralta pass, a 2-yard pass it was, as the tight end ran a little out, and Hernandez was able to connect. So a score for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs staying creative with the onside kick. The Cowboys wave, fair catch. Boy, if the Bulldogs didn't get it, they almost did. I'm looking for a signal there from the side.
Looks McCollum ended up recovering that. It was really close again.
My goodness.
Another short kick by the Bulldogs, and they almost got that one as well.
The Cowboys have dodged a couple of bullets here on their special teams. The Bulldogs very creative with their kickoff, lob left, lob right, and the Cowboys were calling a fair catch, but you still have to cover it. And I think the ball hit the ground before the Cowboy came up with it. They did. Nevertheless, the Cowboys did come up with it, so we'll count that. I don't know if that's a stat or not, but 2 bullets dodged by the Cowboys. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. They'll start this possession from their own 40-yard line. It's Justin Rodriguez in the backfield with Julian Roque, and 1 wide receiver to the left and 2 to the right. Justin takes the snap. Julian Roque will take the handoff off the right edge, and he gets a nice block over here. Julian Roque is going to reverse field. You usually see him going up the middle. He attacks the right edge. Can they catch him? They can inside the 10-yard line. Boy, Julian Roque has got wheels. I hadn't seen the wheels yet. I knew he had a power running game, but the young man's got wheels as well. He goes off the right edge, reverses field, changes his mind, goes to the left, and he's inside the 10-yard line. The Cowboys in the red zone and threatening to score themselves.
Julian Roque is tough to bring down. Jacob Sandoval, the linebacker, senior linebacker, ran him down after a big gain for the Cowboys.
Julian Roque, you know, if I'm a defensive guy, I think I'd rather tackle him from behind than from in front. What do you think, Ken?
Oh,
Okay, Manny?
I think so. He looks like a bus out there.
He's a bus. This time the handoff goes to Jonathan Longoria. The Cowboys looking for some yardage off the left side of the offensive line, and they do move the line of scrimmage just a bit.
Tackle there was by Joe Klein, but my notice there that Julian Roca made a nice kickout block there. So he not only did he run hard, but he blocks pretty well as well.
Well, you love to see a guy playing in the skill position, and as we say that, Julian Roca getting a breather, who will carry the ball for you. But then when it's not his turn to carry the ball, he's going to be there making some big blocks, and Julian Roca did there on that play. Justin Rodriguez changes his formation, and the handoff goes to Jonathan Longoria right up the middle. The surge goes to the Cowboys. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, McCollum.
Number 1 on the carry, Jonathan Longoria for McCollum 6.
So the Cowboys get to play their fight song in the first quarter. We're looking at 14-6. The Bulldogs are leading it, but the Cowboys still wanting to cut into that lead just a bit. Their kicker is David Garcia. He's a freshman. David Garza, I beg your pardon. He's a freshman. Straight ahead kicker, straight ahead kick. The officials tell us it's good. 14-7 is the score. The Bulldogs leading here with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to play in the first quarter. We got a good one. We told you it was going to be good. You're watching High School Sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel, brought to you in part by Martinez and Associates. We'll be right back. And we're back at the SAISD Sports Complex after the Cowboys have scored on a 3-play drive, went 60 yards. Julian Roque had a big carry in that 3-play drive. It was Jonathan Longoria up the middle for the score. 14-7 is the score as the Cowboys kick off to the Bulldogs. They have trouble handling that kickoff, but the return man has some, he had some space there. Number 13 is Israel Zapata. Pick the ball up off the ground, and sometimes you see that in special teams. You get the ball bounces on the ground, and it kind of knocks the timing off of the cover team. And a lot of times these big returns will start with a little bit of a mishandle at the onset. And I thought we were going to see one of those plays here tonight. The Bulldogs will return the kickoff to the 34-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They've had the ball twice. They've scored twice. So we'll see if the McCollum Cowboys defense is up to a stop here on the third Burbank Bulldog possession.
For a 4-man front for the McCollum Cowboys.
Kevin Hernandez looks to his left, and the ball is batted away. I believe that was number 52, Jared Roth, that batted the ball away, and it never got to the receiver. Boy, that was almost intercepted as well.
Very, very close. It dropped around the linebackers there.
Looked like a middle blocker on a volleyball game. We've called some volleyball games here on RC Audio Sports this year, and looked like a middle blocker at the net. Roth did. Kevin Hernandez takes a snap. He rolls to his right, and he's pressured. He's got a receiver.
Nice job by the Cowboys there. They brought a little pressure to make sure they contained him. He rolled to his right, but there was some pressure from the outside backer that forced him to throw that ball, an incomplete pass.
The incomplete pass. Jonathan Patterson was the intended receiver, but I think it was a little bit of miscommunication. It was just a tad high, and I think he thought that it was going to somebody behind him, and he let the pass go. I think it was catchable. Miscommunication on that. We're gonna fault miscommunication for that incompletion. We got 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left, 1 back set. Kevin Hernandez brings a wide receiver out in the pocket. He's looking downfield. He's flushed to his right. He's a right-hander, still looking downfield. near the sideline. The Cowboys chasing him and run him out of bounds after about a 7-yard gain. Kevin Hernandez, man, he can run. We've got some running quarterbacks in this district. We've got several quarterbacks that can tuck and run, and Kevin Hernandez is one of them. Justin Rodriguez, you'll see him do some of that. You'll see him do some of that tonight as well.
He's extremely quick, and he's been getting outside the right end, that left defensive end. It's been a difficult night keeping him in the pocket.
So the McCollum Cowboys up to the task, and they're able to stop the Burbank Bulldogs offense on the third possession. It's the punt team is out there for the Bulldogs. The Cowboys rush, come very close to blocking it. Luke Londa will take he's dangerous, and he's running up the left sideline. He's got the ball back almost to the line of scrimmage, and it looked like nothing, but Luke Londa making something out of nothing. Boy, I thought he was going to be tackled immediately.
Nice run back there. He took it all the way back to the Burbank 40. Got great starting position for the McCollum Cowboys. Great opportunity to try to get this thing tied up.
Call that a short field. So the Cowboys start this possession with the short field inside Burbank Bulldog territory at the 41-yard line. And again, we've seen Luke Launder return a kickoff for a touchdown. We did that in the first game of the season against South San, and we saw how explosive he was on that return. Justin Rodriguez has got company in the backfield, and got flags. Might be everybody but the center. False start on the offense, so a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down and 15. Looked like everybody was moving. The center wasn't sure about the snap count, and he didn't snap it. So 5-yard penalty. First and 15. We're under a minute now in the first quarter. 21 points have been scored here in the first quarter. 14 by Burbank, 7 by McCollum. Justin Rodriguez, the quick tree. He's looking downfield. He's got number 8, Gabriel Escobar. Underthrows him just a tad. The Cowboys probably fortunate that was not intercepted. Boy, that was a quick tree. I mean, a one-step drawback, but that was a fly pattern. And Justin Rodriguez looking downfield. That was about a 25-yard pass attempt that fell incomplete.
Underneath there was Xavier Salazar, the corner, that knocked that ball away.
And we've mentioned a couple of times how the Cowboys have been fortunate because of the outcome. I would say that the Bulldogs were fortunate in that one because the receiver had gotten behind the defense and just weren't able to connect on that. 2nd and 15 after the incomplete pass. Julian Roque in the backfield with Kevin Hernandez, and the McCollum Cowboys staff doesn't like the look of that lineup, and they're going to call a timeout. We're glad you've joined us tonight. You're watching High School Sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel. It's brought to you in part by Rufio.
The On-Par Golf Academy at Mission Del Lago was designed and developed to offer not only the highest quality golf instruction in San Antonio, but so much more. With its experienced staff and its TrackMan indoor and outdoor training facility, On-Par Golf has the capability to meet all your golf improvement needs. From its junior golf programming to its entertainment and hosting services, OPG has got you covered. So if you're ready to take your golf game to the next level, come see us at On-Par Golf.
And we're back at the SAISD Sports Complex. The McCollum Cowboys facing a 2nd and 15 after a false start and an incomplete pass. The Cowboys called a timeout, not liking what the look that they had. Justin Rodriguez will roll to, it's a pitch over to Jonathan Longoria. Thought he was rolling left, and the option, Coach Klon told us before last week's game against Lanier that Justin Rodriguez was really taking to that option game, and we saw them run it to near perfection against the Lanier Vokes, and haven't really seen it much this quarter, but certainly trying it there before the quarter ends.
The Bulldogs started with the 3-man front, and they brought both inside linebackers and created to be able to bring that stop.
Looked like we had somebody on quarterback, somebody on pitch. That didn't go very far, maybe a 1-yard gain on the play. So 3rd and a long 14, the Cowboys in Burbank territory at the 45-yard line. Rodriguez, the lefty, rolls to his left. Nobody there to contain him. He's looking downfield. He's driven out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage. So the Cowboys will look at a 4th and 10. The ball will be at the 40-yard line, and this will be an interesting call. Will the Cowboys opt to punt and drive the Bulldogs back against the wall, or are they going to take a shot at a 4th and 10 play? You look at your offensive playbook, and do we have any 4th and 10? Do we have any 4th and 10 calls? Well, they're going to have a little time to think about it. As that play ended the first quarter, it's Burbank 14 and McCollum 7 at the SAISD Sports Complex. You are watching high school sports on the RC Audio Sports YouTube channel. It's brought to you by Texas Revolution and Cheer.
Playing with rockets is great when you're a kid. But when it's time to get a mortgage, you quickly realize that a rocket is complicated and expensive. It's best to work with an independent mortgage broker instead. They're dedicated to getting you a home loan faster and more affordably. And they're more than just mortgage experts. They live right in your own neighborhood, so you don't have to go it alone. For mortgages that are faster, easier, and more affordable, find a local independent mortgage broker.
With the 4th and 10 at the Burbank 41-yard line, the Cowboys will opt to punt and hopefully pin the Bulldogs back near their own end zone. So it's going to be a little bit of a finesse kick. A Cowboy roll is going to do the job. The Cowboys all over it. And number 9, Brandon Barrientos, decides to jump on that thing and not let it get any closer to a touchback. So the Cowboys succeed in doing exactly what they wanted to do. They're going to punt it. They're going to try to push the Bulldogs back to the Bulldogs backs to their own end zone, and they did. The Bulldogs will have to snap this from inside their 5-yard line. So another example of how the special teams play such a big part in this game. The Cowboys unable to move the chains on that drive, but did a great job of pinning the Bulldogs back and making them start 95 yards away from pay dirt. Kevin Hernandez takes the snap, but before the snap, there's movement. The flags fly. False start against the Bulldogs is the call, so we'll go half the distance to the goal line.
False start on the offense.
We'll replay first down, half the distance. Makes it a 1st and 12.5 yards for all of you mathematicians out there.
Correction, replay first down.
Coming in a 4-man front, a three down linebacker look with 2 deep safeties.
Justin Rodriguez takes the snap from his own end zone. It looks like the handoff went to Robert Martinez, and he's across the original line of scrimmage.
Robert Martinez on the carry. Tackle made by number 2.
As he approaches the 10-yard line. So a nice play on first down for the Bulldogs, playing it safe, but about a 6-yard gain on that. So Coach Harris